It's Friday. It's time for another 5-minute murder. I'm going to pick a card. And tonight we have Dorothea Puente. All right, Dorothea Puente was born on January 9th, 1929, and died on March 27th, 2011. She was an American convicted serial killer. In the 1980s, Puente ran a boarding house in Sacramento, California, and murdered various elderly and mentally disabled boarders before cashing their Social Security checks. Her total count reached 9 confirmed murders and 6 unconfirmed. Newspapers dubbed Puente the Death House Landlady. So, what that means is that she was believed to have killed 15 people. So Dorothea, really interesting case. You know, in that picture that was taken of her, she looks like she's about 70 years old, right? Maybe 70, maybe getting close to 80. And I believe in this picture she was in her 50s, right? So Dorothea always looked older than she actually was. She was just one of those people that always looked like a grandma. And so people treated her as such. They felt like she was a grandma. She often kind of took that motherly role with people. And she would, say that she was going to take care of them. That's how she got her boarders, and people would move in with her. She would say that she was going to take care of them and, help them out in their time of need. She would then get really controlling, right? And it was never what they expected it to be. It would end up becoming something very different. She would end up swindling them into signing over Social Security to them and other different things that they were getting. So she would have them sign that stuff over. And when she did that, she would then start poisoning them. So they may have come to her looking for a place to stay or hoping to get asylum for something, and instead she would start to feed them medication. And as they would take the medication, they would start to get sick. And so one of the crazy things is that it was, many of the family members of these people would notice that their family, instead of getting healthier when they moved in with Dorothea, they would get more and more unhealthy, right? They would start to have more and more problems. And of course she would, chalk it up as, that maybe they were just far too gone and maybe they were progressing faster than they expected. But in truth, she was poisoning them. And so she would end up killing them. Sometimes she would bury them, and that's where they found, at least 9 bodies on her property, right, that she had buried either in the backyard, in the garden. But there were many more people that went missing during that time. So we don't really know how many people Dorothea Puente killed. What we do know is that she poisoned a bunch of them and then got rid of their bodies. And she would keep those Social Security checks. They would keep coming. She would keep cashing them until they finally caught her. Now, what's fascinating about that is I met a guy at one of the conventions that I was at. He actually walked past my booth, and this was back when I had all of the different expansions on the banner, and you had the different serial killers up there, and Dorothea Puente, that card was on there. And so he walked past and he said, "Holy shit, my aunt is up there." And I said, "Who's your aunt?" And he said Dorothea Puente. So Dorothea Puente's nephew comes up to my booth, and we talked for a little bit. And I asked him, I said, "When you were a kid, did you ever spend like holidays over at her house? Did you guys ever go over there?" And he said, "No, we never really went over there. I never really had any real connection with her. The rest of the family felt like she was really weird, so we never would go over to her house. We would always stay away from her." So, rightly so, of course, finding out later on that she has murdered at least 9 people so that she could get money from them and support her lifestyle. But she was always kind of a swindler. Her whole life, she was always trying to find the easier way out. She would, get men to give her things. And so it was kind of a long-standing thing. And so I want to show you something else. I got to go grab it here real quick. Give me just a second. All right. Sorry, guys. But I wanted to grab this real quick because this is fantastic. I have a copy of Cooking with a Serial Killer from Shane Bugbee, and it is recipes from Dorothea Puente when she was on death row. So yeah, I have her cookbook from death row. I've never made anything in here. I know some people that have and say it's actually pretty good. But on the back it says, none of them were murdered. They died of natural causes. I couldn't do that anyhow. I'm not that type of person. I'm too caring and I worry too much about my people eating. Everybody can tell you that. I would spend money fattening them up. Why would I spend money fattening them up if I was going to kill them? So that is from the back of the book here. The Sacramento Bee said, in good taste, ? Ex-landlady known for her stews, soups, and puddings. The Sun wrote, grandmotherly Dorothea Puente is becoming as renowned for her cooking as for being a notorious mass murderer. And then there was an ex-tenant that put this on the back. Every dinner at Dorothea's was like Thanksgiving dinner. And there's actually an interview inside of here. And if you ever have a chance to pick this up, there's an interview there that you can check out. I think it's pretty cool. But it is a little piece from old Dorothea Puente making some lovely, lovely recipes from death row. So thank you guys for joining us for another 5-Minute Murder. I will catch you next week.